Today, I'm going to tell you about a topic of great significance in the global economic landscape, the impact of the US-China trade war on international trade. Over the past few years, the trade war between the United States and China has dominated headlines, sparking debate and raising questions about its consequences for broader international trade system. To understand its impact, let's first delve into the background of this trade dispute. The trade war officially began on March 22, 2018. This is a tit-for-tat trade dispute. The war stemmed from several causes, including, firstly, the United States' large trade deficit with China. In 2017, the United States imported $506 billion in goods from China, while only exporting $131 billion in goods to China. As a result, the US trade deficit with China was $375 billion. Secondly, China's unfair trade practices. The US alleged that China engaged in unfair trade practices, such as subsidizing state-owned enterprise, stealing intellectual property, and forcing technology transfer. Lastly, the strategic competition between the US and China. The US and China are competing to become the world's leading economy. The trade war is part of this competition. The war has had several negative impacts on international trade, including the first one is reduced trade volume between the US and China. According to World Trade Organization data, the total trade value between the US and China in 2019 decreased by 10.8% compared to 2018. This has had impact on the interest of both economy as well as of other countries in the global supply chain. The second one is increased production costs and goods prices. Due to the higher tariffs, the production costs for businesses in both the US and China have increased. This in turn has led to an increase in the prices of goods, affecting consumers and businesses worldwide. The third one is dampening global economic growth. According to the International Monetary Fund's estimate, the US-China trade war reduced the global economic growth rate by 0.2% in 2019. This trade conflict has contributed to a slowdown in the overall global economic growth. The last one is enhanced trade protectionism. The US-China trade war has intensified the trend of trade protectionism worldwide. It has caused disruption to the global economy and posed a threat to progress of trade liberalization. However, the trade war has also generated some positive impacts. First and foremost, encouraging domestic production in various countries. Due to the higher tariffs, businesses in many countries have tended to shift their production focus on domestic market. The shift has helped boost local manufacturing and address employment concerns in those countries. The second, providing opportunity for third countries. The US-China trade war has created opportunity for third countries, particularly in Southeast Asia, to participate in global supply chain. The third, accelerating innovation and creativity to reduce costs and compete with business in other countries. Companies in the United States and China have been inclined to invest in innovation and creativity. This has contributed to advancing the global innovation process. Here are some lessons that can be learned from the US-China trade war. Lesson 1. Trade wars are costly and damaging to both sides. The US-China trade war is estimated to have cost the global economy trillions of dollars. Businesses and consumers were the hardest hit as they were forced to pay higher prices for goods and service. Lesson 2. Tariffs are not an effective way to address trade imbalance. The US-China trade war did not succeed in reducing the US trade deficit with China. In fact, the deficit actually increased during the war. Lesson 3. Global supply chains are fragile and vulnerable to disruption. The US-China trade war led to significant disruption to global supply chain. Businesses were forced to find new suppliers and sources of material, which increased costs and uncertainty. Last but not least, international cooperation is essential for a stable and prosperous global economy. The US-China trade war highlighted the importance of international cooperation for the global economy. The war was the major source of uncertainty and instability, which has a negative impact on business and consumers around the world.